from the news station. This is 7 News at 6:30.
We begin tonight with a developing story involving President Bush.
Within the last hour or so, Mr. Bush has ordered the release of all of his Vietnam-era military records, apparently to counter Democrat suggestions that he shirked his duty in Texas during the Air National Guard time that he spent with them. 7's Dave Cartoonin is working the latest details tonight. He's in the Newsplex. Dave.
Well, Lynn, he first made the promise Sunday on Meet the Press, saying that he would make all of his records available, and now President Bush has followed through on that promise. This evening, he released all of his military records, but if you're expecting them to come pouring out of the White House in some sort of grand procession, you can think again. They will only be available to reporters this evening in the Roosevelt Room. So all the White House correspondents are now in the Roosevelt Room poring over these files. Now, this whole controversy began to stir up when all the way back 30 years ago, when President Bush was sworn into the Texas Air National Guard. There he is, then First Lieutenant Bush. In 1972, he moved to Alabama to work on a Senate campaign, and during that Senate campaign, he was moved over to the Alabama Air Guard. However, a Boston Globe and an Associated Press investigation say he never showed up for that duty. The Democratic National Committee chairman jumped on the bandwagon, Terry McAuliffe, and has called this into question. And then on Sunday, President Bush said, "I received an honorable discharge. I fulfilled my duties." And earlier in the week, you saw those dental records come out and the pay stubs. And now apparently the president is making all of his records available. And as soon as some of that information begins to trickle out of the Roosevelt Room at the White House, we'll be sure to get it to you. That's the latest live in the Newsplex. Dave Cartoonin, 7 News.
As the president is releasing those records, the Democratic frontrunner in the race for the White House responding to his rumors today. Massachusetts Senator John Kerry reacting to reports on the internet that he was involved with an intern. That rumor allegedly coming from the man who brought the Monica Lewinsky scandal to cyberspace and all around the world.
Sir, request permission to come aboard. The Army's here.
Well, it appears to be full steam ahead for the Kerry campaign in its quest for the White House. Anti-Kerry operatives appear to be working overtime to sink the junior senator's chances. The latest salvo, a report coming from Matt Drudge's website about an unnamed woman who suddenly fled the country, reportedly at the urging of the presidential hopeful. Kerry addressing the rumor on morning radio with host Don Imus.
Is there anything that's going to come up? Now, for example, there's this Drudge report about an intern, and I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been reported anywhere, but people are talking about it.
Well, there's nothing to report, so there's nothing to talk about, and I'm not worried about it. No, the answer is no.
Well, despite the denial, several major news outlets have picked up on the story and are actively investigating. One of them, the Associated Press, where the woman in question was once employed. Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy calls this just another case of dirty politics. But Republicans point the finger of blame right back at the Democrats.
There's sort of right-wing groups that are trying to peddle some smut with regard to Senator Kerry, which he's addressed, and I think he's answered all those questions and denied them, and it just is an indication that they don't want to deal with Senator Kerry on the issues.
For the last 10 months, day after day after day, spending over $40 million in campaign ads attacking the president and supported by over $7 million from third parties, Democrats have used some of the most vicious rhetoric in the history of presidential politics.
Kerry doesn't seem to be swayed by any of it, focusing on Wisconsin and beyond.
General Clark is not going to stand behind me anywhere in the course of this effort over these next months. He's going to stand beside me, and he's going to help walk point in this great battle as we go forward to take back the presidency of the United States.
We'll see. The Wisconsin primary is set for next Tuesday. Beatrice.
All right, Lynn, also at 6:30, a disturbing story. A high school coach facing a judge after being arrested, accused of having sex with a student. Police say he admitted to taking the 15-year-old girl back to his house on more than one occasion. 7's Derek Hayward live in Hollywood with this story tonight. Derek.
Well, Beatrice, the 20-year-old coach of the girls' softball team here at MacArthur High School is now no longer the coach. He resigned just before he was led off to jail.
Sexual offense against a victim between the ages of 12 and 15.
He's a nice guy. I don't think he'd do something like that.
In addition, you're to have no contact with the victim.
He's a pretty nice guy.
But Hollywood police are accusing the 20-year-old volunteer women's softball coach of being other than nice to at least one 15-year-old softball team member at MacArthur High School, charging Robert Helms Zinser with 6 counts of lewd and lascivious behavior, accusing him of bringing the 15-year-old to his home twice for booze and sex.
It doesn't matter if it was consensual or not. She's 15 years old, and that's why he has been charged with it. Like I said, she had alcohol. He had given her alcohol, and then after that, had sex with her. I don't have anything to say. Please just go away.
Zinser's family won't discuss the case, except to say that Zinser is a good kid.
My son is with this.
It's your son?
It's my son, and he's very good. He's a good kid. Thank you.
They say he brought the girl here.
Zinser was a volunteer coach at MacArthur, but was also a paid groundskeeper at 2 other Broward County schools. Not anymore.
One of our school district investigators arrived, and when he saw him, told the investigator, "There's no need for the school district to do investigation. I will resign." And he signed a letter of resignation.
In addition, you're not to return to MacArthur High School.
And tonight, Robert Zinser remains in the Broward County Jail. His bond is set at $60,000. Live in Hollywood, Derek Haywood, 7 News.
Also in the news tonight, the search for a serial rapist on the run intensifying. A man accused of an explosive plot striking a deal. Police seizing a huge stash of stolen items and what could be a critical weekend for Haiti, a country in crisis. 7's Belkis Nure is live at the news desk with these local headlines.
We're going to begin with the search to catch that serial rapist, Len. 45 billboards featuring a composite sketch of the North Dade rapist and a physical description set to go up all over Miami-Dade County. The suspect has been linked by DNA to 6 sexual assaults and may be connected to 8 other attacks. A Fort Lauderdale man is accused of plotting to firebomb abortion clinics and gay bars, and he's pled guilty today in federal court to 1 count of attempted arson. Stephen John Jordy could face a prison sentence of 5 to 20 years. Authorities said on the day of his arrest, he had purchased gasoline cans, flares, starter fluid, and propane tanks. And investigators making a big bust inside a Hollywood home. They see stolen items worth up to $100,000. Authorities hauling away stolen computers, digital cameras, CD players, and even equipment used to make counterfeit money. The 51-year-old homeowner was arrested. And police in Haiti are expected to unleash a major offensive against a rebel uprising that killed about 50 people there. Opponents of President Jean-Bertrand Aristide vowing to hold a mass demonstration this weekend in the capital of Port-au-Prince unless a peaceful resolution is quickly reached. Experts say a humanitarian crisis is looming in Haiti. Those are some of the night's top stories. I'm Belkis Nure, 7 News.
New details tonight in the story of an elementary school student forced to endure what many consider a bully beating. The disturbing incident caught on camera. Everyone from parents to school officials outraged after seeing this helpless boy beaten on the bus. But now action is being taken to try to ensure this never happens again. 7's Craig Stevens is live at the Newsplex with the details. Craig.
Beatrice, school administrators are doing something in this case that continues to draw national attention. Soon, some Jacksonville students will be noticing something different on all of their buses.
It was a scene that outraged many, a surveillance camera catching 7 middle school students beating up another student on a Jacksonville school bus last week.
I have migraines, so it felt like I was about to pass out or something, and it was painful.
Now, the school district says it's doing everything in its power to prevent an attack like this from happening again.
We're going to outfit all the buses with cameras and recorders so that we have proof.
The bus driver, who turned in the tape and has since been put on administrative leave, has been criticized for not doing more. But that may be because of a vague policy on what drivers can and cannot do to children in such situations.
They're not allowed to touch students. That's clear. What is also clear is he was also driving through a congested area. And the amount of time from the time that the altercation started to the time that the first stop occurred was 40 seconds.
For the victim's mother, she's pleased the superintendent plans to put video cameras now, and recorders too, on all the buses.
It's great. It's past great. It's wonderful.
Now, all of the students involved in the assault have been suspended from class. The victim, meanwhile, has been transferred to a school of his choice. Live at the Story of the Satellite Center, I'm Craig Stevens, 7 News.
All right, Craig, there's much more ahead tonight on 7 News at 6:30. First, Janet, now Kid Rock. Hear why his Super Bowl performance is taking center stage.
Then why the Michael Jackson's trial might not be starting for quite some time. You're going to hear what's causing the holdup coming up next.
You are watching 7 News at 6:30 with Beatrice Canals, Lynn Martinez, Chief Meteorologist Bill Kamal with weather, and Mike DePasquale with sports.
7 News brought to you in part by Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store.
Justin and Janet, not the only Super Bowl performer still feeling the heat. Now, controversy is swirling around a flag flap involving rocker Kid Rock. A lawmaker keeping the Super Bowl debate alive tonight.
He says not only was Kid Rock's performance inappropriate, but his costume disrespected the American flag. 7's Louis Geary joins us tonight with more. Louis?
Yeah, first it was Janet and Justin. Now it's Kid Rock embroiled in controversy. A U.S. senator is taking aim at him, making some stunning statements about the star.
First, the brouhaha over Janet Jackson's breast. Now it's Kid Rock feeling the heat. One of Washington's most powerful senators is attacking Kid Rock for wearing this Stars and Stripes poncho during his halftime show performance.
The thing that yanked my chain the hardest was seeing this ignoramus with his pointed head stuck up through a hole in the flag of the United States of America, screaming about having a bottle of scotch and watching crotch.
As congressional hearings into the Super Bowl controversy went on in Washington, Georgia Democrat Zell Miller spoke out, and he wasn't happy.
This is the same flag that is draped over coffins of dead young uniformed warriors killed by protecting Kid Croc's bony butt.
The ironic thing is that Kid Rock is one of rock music's most patriotic performers. Last summer, he performed for U.S. troops in Baghdad.
It's just not part of his image to be anti-American, and I think Senator Miller really needs to lighten up about it.
Still, Senator Miller is not impressed.
He should be tarred and feathered and ridden out of this country on a rail. Now, you talk about a good reality show? That'd be one.
Pretty harsh. Kid Rock is on tour right now. His publicist says he is not available for comment on the remarks made by Senator Miller. In the Plex, Louis Aguirre, 7 News.
Some developments today in the case of a superstar scandal. The judge in Michael Jackson's child molestation case saying that he wants the trial to take place this year, and lawyers predicted they would be ready to go in December. Well, as expected, Jackson was not in court today for the proceedings because he didn't have to be. Jackson is charged with committing lewd or lascivious acts with a child under the age of 14 and giving the child an intoxicating agent.
Coming up next at 6:30 tonight, a driver making a mistake behind the wheel but managing to get out before it's too late. Details coming up.
A construction crew making a big mistake, sending a gas line up in flames, and that fire is still burning at this hour. It happened just a few hours ago in Philadelphia. Flames could be seen shooting about 100 feet into the air. The fire engulfing 2 nearby vehicles, damaging some nearby power lines as well. Residents within a block of the blaze have been evacuated. So far, no injuries have been reported.
A motorcyclist leading police on a hot pursuit through Las Vegas. The high-speed chase beginning in the downtown area after police tried to stop that biker on suspicion of drug possession. Well, he wasn't fast enough to lose cops. In fact, that driver lost control on a highway, slamming into another car. The 46-year-old was then taken into jail after refusing medical treatment.
And car chaos near Atlanta, a driver leaving her pickup on the parking deck of a building, but forgetting to put it in park. While the truck rolling forward, bouncing over a barrier and falling to the ground, landing on its roof. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Now, time for 7 weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Kamal.
Pretty cold air across much of the central U.S. all the way down into Texas, and they're going to get a snowstorm in parts of Texas around Dallas and even points further south than that. Very mild in South Florida and even mild still up and down the eastern seaboard, but major changes coming as an Arctic front invades the Northeast and the eastern Great Lakes over the weekend. 7 Skyscan, more rains for California, but mild there. And here's an area of snow that came out of West Texas, an upper-level low tapping some Gulf moisture into the cold air, snowing now in parts of Oklahoma and eventually into Dallas and northeast Texas around the Arklatex area. That's Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas area. And then a lot of rain across the Gulf Coast, some embedded thunderstorms because this is the actual frontal boundary and areas of low pressure moving along that front that are going to be, I think, flirting with South Florida's weather, especially by late tomorrow night into Sunday. But right now in the 70s, dew points around 70, so it is fairly humid, and it's getting more humid as time goes on. But the front, again, to our north, only 49 in Jacksonville, 54 in Mobile, and there are the clouds and the areas of rain. Now, here's what's going to happen. Low pressure areas moving to our north will stay in the summer-like weather. Then this last low on Sunday comes up out of the Gulf, moves across the southeastern U.S., and as that front gets closer to us, we're going to go from near record heat tomorrow to, I think, a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially on Sunday, and then by Monday, clearing and cooler for President's Day. But for tonight, more fog forming, 66 to 72. Tomorrow into the 80s again with an unusually warm air mass and kind of breezy, so use caution on the waterways. A round of rain Sunday, clearing on President's Day. I'll see you tonight, 1st at 10.
Thank you, Bill. All right, coming up next on 7 News at 6:30, the Hurricane Stop Recruit is a free man tonight. The latest on Willie Williams next in 7 Sports.
Then tonight, after the news on Deco Drive, save your Euro dollars. Deco is sending you and a friend on a Euro trip. That's tonight at 7:30. Don't miss it.
Want fast-paced, hard-hitting sports coverage? Get it all here. The Auto House Sports Extra. Every Sunday night at 11 on 7. Tonight on Deco Drive.
I'm Louis Aguirre, and I'm not spanking this monkey, but you'll love our pet show. So, see how you can pamper your pet on Valentine's Day.
Deco Drive, tonight at 7:30 on 7. Time for 7 Sports with Mike DePasquale.
After spending 3 days behind bars, Canes top recruit Willie Williams is going home. Williams has been released on a $2,500 bond. He is in trouble for violating his 18-month probation on a felony burglary charge. Williams' troubles far from over. He faces 1 felony and 2 misdemeanor charges stemming from a recent recruiting visit to Gainesville. UM officials have yet to decide if they'll rescind a scholarship for Williams, considered to be the top high school linebacker in the country in this year's class. No Heat players in Sunday's NBA All-Star game, but tonight 2 Miami rookies will get plenty of attention in the Rookie Challenge. What a turnaround it's been for ex-skater Udonis Haslem. Came to the Heat undrafted as a free agent. He's been a force off the bench. Rookie Dwayne Wade is the team's 3rd leading scorer. Wade, for one, is looking forward to being in the spotlight.
It'll be a chance to meet everybody that you want to meet. Playing a game that is going to be on TNT. Me and Udonis get to go out there and represent the Heat. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think we'll enjoy it.
Boston Celtics are taking steps to rid themselves of Ben Baker, who's been a big old headache. Baker was suspended indefinitely last month when he violated an alcohol rehab testing program. The Celtics put Baker on waivers. If he doesn't clear waivers, then will likely be released, saving Boston $36 million. All right, when the Canes play ball tonight, they'll start off as the nation's top-ranked team. Big test for Miami right from the start as the 15th-ranked Gators with 2 wins come in for a 3-game series.
When I came here, I got the feeling we had to go to Omaha, or we ought to be selling real estate. So.
Coach Jim Morris has led his Canes to the College World Series in 8 of the last 10 seasons. Under Morris, Miami won it all, 99 and 2001. Tonight, the road to Omaha starts for a team returning with all of its starters and pitching rotation intact.
You can see a different look on their face. You can see they understand, what it takes now. They're more understanding practice, what to do to get ready. So, that experience helps, and it's something that you can't buy.
Junior pitcher Vince Bongiovanni gets to start tomorrow night against the Gators. He knows what's at stake so early in the season.
There's no first-time jitters or anything like that, but, we got to go out there and prove ourselves. Last year we weren't really ranked, very high, and now, we went out and proved ourselves this year. Now we're ranked high, now we got to go prove ourselves the other way and keep the #1 spot.
It's a big challenge right from the start, but, hopefully if we come out and play our game like we've been preparing to do these last 5 weeks, it should come out in our favor.
And we'll have Canes highlights at 10 o'clock. Former heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier, has been arrested. He's been accused of assaulting the mother of his son. Frazier is behind bars awaiting his arraignment. Second round of the Buick Invitational, Vijay Singh's streak of 12 consecutive top 10 finishes will come to an end. He will miss the cut by one shot. Tiger Woods playing for the first time in months, shoots a 468. He's 5 under for the tourney. Of this guy right here, Stuart Sink. Sink shoots a 9 under 63. He has a 2-shot lead at 11 under. Not a good day for Michael Waltrip getting ready for tomorrow's Busch race at Daytona. Waltrip in his 99 car lost a tire during a practice run. Usually it means you kiss the wall there. Waltrip better get Mako. He uses his backup car in a Hershey's Kisses 300 race. Waltrip will start from the 9th spot for Sunday's Daytona 500. And Waltrip, by the way, has to be considered a favorite. He won the 500 race 2 years ago. That will do it for sports. The ladies are back after we take this timeout.
7 News brought to you in part by Lexus, the relentless pursuit of perfection.
Bigger, better, more complete coverage of the stories that are important to you.
Some of the 19 top stories.
The station you count on for news. The news station. 7 News, first at 10.
That is 7 News at 6:30 on this Friday evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Beatrice Canal.
I'm Lynn Martinez. Stay tuned for Deco. It's coming up at 7:30.
Good night. We did say Friday. Enjoy.